Good morning. Ooh, once again, my camera seems to have messed up here. Let's try something here. If I switch that, I switch back to that. There we go. Good morning. Welcome to Sunday morning. Today, oh, and actually first, I got a new microphone. Let's see if it works any better.
Is this any better? I think this is better in general.
But I can't get the keyboard clicks. They're super duper loud on that. I got a new microphone, but whatever. Okay, today I am going to work on updating my Ghidra installation. Ghidra is a software reverse engineering application. It's largely written in Java. There have been a variety of different Python bindings for it. I've written Python scripts and Java scripts. The Python scripts in general I have an easier time with. But what I'm going to do today is, because in recent versions they've updated their Python bindings that are internal, it actually has become a lot easier to use Ghidra from Python, or to write plugins for Ghidra from Python. So I'm going to be doing that. I've got a bunch of plugins or scripts that I've written from previous versions that utilized external bindings like Ghidrathon and things like that. And now I'm going to update them to see if I can work with the new version of Ghidra. Alright, so let's see. There we go. Ooh, it says hello, hello, hello. Oh, you know what? I just got a new Stream Deck, and apparently when I push that button, I left in the code that types hello. So, alright. First thing I'm going to do is I always have to update ia.sync. So ia.sync is one of the pieces of code that it's a slay code, I think, where it is the way that Ghidra interprets things and some domain-specific language they've developed. But it gets updated over time. This is the x86, I think. And so I have, on the left is the new ia.sync, which has modifications that have come in for the Intel processor. And on the right is the one that I was using in the previous version of Ghidra. Now, the modifications, I didn't construct them. Someone else did, and I've been bringing them up since, I think, the Ghidra 9 series that I use to it modified the way that macros.sync, interesting, modified the way that it interprets interrupt 21H. Here we go. And I've also added on interrupt 60. So this is the main change that I need to make. And what I'm going to do here, so here on the left you see N60. 60 is epsilon. I actually don't really know the slay code here, but it stores this and then it changes it to syscall. And so I've set that here for both interrupt 60. So when, let's see, this is AL is 60, and when AL is 21, it calls interrupt. And then it'll dispatch based on AH, that register. So I've modified that, and so now I should be able to override anything that does interrupt 21H or 60H. 60H is used internally in the code that I'm actually looking at, typically for graphics operations. Let's see. The rest of this, typically there isn't any other change. There aren't any other changes. I read over the release notes, and for the most part it was stuff like AVX 512 and whatnot. So let's go ahead and quit out. So now we're going to load up the new Ghidra for the very first time. I have my old projects loaded and synchronized. So let's take a look at what Ghidra looks like in the new version. I had a user agreement over here. Let's see. Oh, wow. So Ghidra help shows up. Nope. Let's close this down. It's loading my language. Restoring bundle state. Oh boy, it's doing a whole lot. I'm going to close down the help in just a minute. The program file you were attempting to open is an older version. Yeah, I'll upgrade it now. It's re-disassembling everything. Opening my project. Alright, so this is my previous project. So, as anyone that... actually, yeah, it does almost look like Windows. Hey, Cryogy. So this is, I believe it's written in Swing. So it's the Java UI toolkit called Swing. And so it does in fact look like that. You can retheme it. Let's see, there's, if I go, where is it? Is it tool options? It's something rather non-intuitive. There's a way to completely retheme the whole thing. And maybe they've made it easier now, but I don't know. I've never really done it, and to be honest, it was a huge turnoff for me initially with Ghidra, was the fact that it looked like this. And there are some major downsides to the theming as well, but I never did properly learn how to theme it. Now you've got me wondering though, where is it here? Yeah, oh, no, that's not it. Let's see. Tool options? Yeah, see, here there's like different ways to change the colors and stuff, but it's all rather, um, rather manual and rote. Alright, so that was pretty straightforward. You see, my actual project name is 1031. That was the version of Ghidra that I initially started this version of the project in. Now, this file right here is, I've added in the BDA and whatnot, and I've also loaded in a couple different sets of code. This is code.2 for a 1992, is it 91? I can never remember. Game called The Summoning. But now, what we're going to do is we're going to go into my Ghidra scripts. Let me activate my current Conda framework, and let's see if we can figure out how to update everything here. So, I've got my script manager here. This is my display script manager. And now what I'm going to do here is that's help. Oh. Manage script directories. User home Ghidra scripts. Alright, let's symlink that. Actually, let's just move it. So let's go back to my script manager, manage script directories. File not found. No, it's there. Oops, I clicked refresh all when I meant refresh. Whew. It's taking forever. File not found. What? Did I typo it? Alright, well, you know what? Never hurts to restart Ghidra. Alright, let's pop it open. I did save it, but I wonder if it didn't. Anyway, code 2 with V. So what I did with code 2 with V is I actually loaded in... yeah, you were probably right. I actually have gone back and forth on that. I was at a workshop in Edinburgh a couple weeks ago where some folks were trying to, we're having a rather interesting discussion about Conda versus UV, and the astral tool chain and whatnot, and I made a note that I actually should try out the other tool chains out there, but I have not done so yet. It's been a bit of a crazy couple weeks since then. Oh, looks like my camera froze again. I wonder what's going on with my camera, why it keeps freezing. Here, let's try restarting it there. Okay. All right. So let's see if I can get my script manager to pop up here. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. No, I don't want to remove the selected bundle. Okay, let's see. What are my scripts called in that directory? Ghidra scripts. Let's see what I've got. If you remember what it was you read, please do let me know. Okay, so set up MS-DOS calls, syscalls. That one is that one right there. Okay, yeah, I trust these authors. All right, so this, oh boy. This is not what oh yeah, no, this is it. I've just got a bunch of copy and paste and stuff. So let's see how this one works. Let's give it a shot. See what it says. Should be able to open my JSON file, find all my syscalls. It shouldn't need to make any changes. Sure is taking a while. I don't like that. Usually it's much, much faster. So this may have been a big mistake. Let's see. Line 84. Oh man, no viable alternative at input. Alright, so that's interesting. For some reason, what version of Python? So I'm using, it looks like it's actually an f-string issue. Man, that's annoying. Alright, let's go back here, configure. Let's see, go down to our Python, Ghidra plugin, there we go. Can I configure this? No. Alright, so let's go here to my script manager. Edit with VS Code. What? Visual Studio Code integration. No, it's Code Insiders. Let's apply that. Okay, so now it loads it up. Let's see if it... I'm going to close my old one. Yeah, I trust these authors. Python extension loading. Let's see what it comes up with for the Python extension. It's still loading in my Conda environment. Let's do Ghidra API help. Let's see if it comes up with which version of Python, because I thought for sure that it was doing a recent enough version to be able to use f-strings. But we can also check that. Let's go into here. Oh boy. Alright, let's see. This module provides the following capabilities. The Ghidra that provides a CPython interpreter. And externally managed environments. Alright, yeah, I think I need to... whatever, let's just kill that. Alright. It looks to me like I'm going to need to do a little bit more configuration here. I get very confused with the configuration just because of the... let's check the tool. Nah. Alright. Configure utilities? Nope. Ooh, there's a theme manager plugin. My goodness. Alright, Ghidra core. exporter, archive, nope, none of those. Developer, none of those. Experimental, none of those. Alright, let's configure. Install extensions. Those are not the ones. So let's go in here. Let's check tool options. Ghidra is not there. Script manager. Tool options. Options for code browser. No, that's not what I wanted. So one thing, I know that there is an internal consistency to all of this stuff, but I get very confused by it. Ah, here we go, Ghidra. Ghidra is not started with Ghidra. Python is not available. Well, alright then. Guess I gotta change how I start Ghidra. Okay. This time, let's see. It says how to do this. Is it? Ghidra features. Ghidra? Oh, one moment. Alright. You know what? Let me just go here back to getting started at MD, Ghidra mode. Oh, Ghidra run. Alright. You know what? I should have read all of this beforehand, because this all makes a little bit of sense. Alright, I'm going to install it in my main conda environment. Ghidra features, Ghidra, package, dist, Ghidra. Okay, well, that seems fine. Alright, now, now we do support Ghidra run. There we go. Alright, this seems like it might work. Oh, yeah. Actually, so I'm pretty sure that, let's see. So it looks like, so I have it set to do conda forage first, but I should probably be more deliberate in that. Because conda forage is, I think, an acceptable source. This is interesting to me. Check this out. The fonts look a little bit different. Presumably because I'm changing how I'm launching it, so maybe it gets a different set of environment variables or something, but it looks different, and honestly, I find that unsettling. Alright, let's see now. That's weird. Okay, Ghidra seems to be kind of working, maybe. Yeah, it just takes a bit. Okay, now let's try my script. Let's see. No viable alternative input. Okay. Let's launch code from here. Edit with VS Code. Line 81. Or so. Oh, is... No, I is there. You know what, maybe... Let's just return it. Let's see if it's not a syntax error. No, it is a syntax error. So why the heck is this a syntax error? What version of Python is this? Sys.version. Raise key error. Let's just see what that does. Well, line 87, I'm going to close that window. Still there. Alright, print sys.version. Doesn't seem to be working. I should be able to get it to raise a key error, but it's not, because it's not. Okay, yeah, right, of course. Because the F string's syntax erroring out, so it never even gets to executing it. No module named typing. This is very annoying. Why is it... why is it not executing with the right version? Alright, so we've got typing up here. So what I'm going to do is import sys.version. Let's see what it gives me here. 2.74. So that's the problem. It's not running inside the external environment. Why is it not running inside my external environment? This is very confusing to me because Ghidra is supposed to be what then manages all of your external scripts. Tool options. So if I'm not running my external script here, then what exactly is going on? Why is it running there? You're free to use it like any other Python module. Alright, fine. I guess I really got to learn more about this. Yep, I did a bunch of blendering before. Maybe if I get too frustrated with this, I'll do that. Because honestly, this is getting really annoying. Alright, so I've got this. Ghidra Python. Plugin that provides a C Python interpreter. Perfect, that's what I want. A script provider capable of running... Alright, so Ghidra script provider. So maybe that's what I need to get here. Script manager. So here, let's go back to configuring this. No. Tool options. And maybe under scripts. Nope. Tool. tool. Program cache, no. Okay, so here under Script Manager, let's go to Tool Options. Entropy, no. In tool, what does that mean? Ugh. Nope. Alright, so in tool doesn't do it. Now, what I need to do is somehow identify that this... Oh, wait, runtime environment. Maybe that's the problem. Do I need to add some sort of metadata to this that identifies it as needing Ghidra? Runtime environment Jython. What if over here, where the heck did I put it? Here it is. Alright, let me go in here. Ghidra metadata. I'm going to do that over here. Script provider. Enforce high priority so Ghidra is the default Python provider. Well, that doesn't seem to be working. Now, the thing is that this is a very well documented system. It's just that I have a hard time navigating the documentation at times. This is very challenging to navigate for me. Okay, so basically where I'm at now is I've been trying to get the Ghidra to launch my scripts, but it's not. Okay, wait, here we go. At runtime. Okay, so at runtime, Ghidra. Alright, so now I'm going to close that window, and then here in my script manager, what the heck? Script manager. Let's refresh. Script list. Pull that one up. Ghidra. Okay, now let's see if it works. Awesome. All right. Now we are at the place where I want it to be. We are now executing, but I have to update for my new system calls. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to call this runtime Ghidrathon, which no longer really exists. I'm going to save a copy, save as, and we will call this Ghidra. Okay, author, you know what, I'll fill this stuff out. Category, yeah, new. Runtime, Ghidra. This identifies identifies system calls in MS-DOS the applications and replaces them with stubs. Okay, so now if I refresh my script list, there we go. Now all I have to do, and here's the thing, a lot of this stuff I think should now be covered with the typing. So, where's my first error? My first error was here at 115. So, current program. Interesting. That actually doesn't look like what I want. So let's see, current program from Ghidra, Ghidra built-ins. All right, let's get back to my Ghidra window, Ghidra. Let's make that a floating window so that I can have it right here. Import Ghidra. All right, now from Ghidra built-ins import current program. Ooh, that's the problem. Here we go, current program. So that actually we don't need to do. I'm going to comment this out just because. And now current program dot, where was it? Get executable format. Okay, so this looks like a simple change. Get language. Okay, so let's try this. Let's see now. Unable to load script. Script does not support it. That's not the one I wanted. Program DB is not callable. Awesome. Okay, so it looks like one major thing we're going to have to do is everywhere that it's current program with a function call, we're going to replace that with just current program. Wait, what just happened? Oh, right. Okay, let's try this. Monitor is not callable. All these things that were inside this, so current program, pop-up, create function, those are no longer callables. Let's see, create function. Okay, that one probably is okay. But let's see, create function. Yep, that works. Okay, now let's try again. Awesome. So options are public, get user defined op name. Instead of no matching overloads found for that with JLong. All right. Get user defined op name index. Let's convert that to an integer. Okay, so it looks like mostly it has worked. What I've done is I've changed a bunch of my Ghidrathon typings back to regular Ghidra. Okay, I'm going to save this, and actually let me add it before I forget. And you know what? Let me just overwrite it. Ah, my camera froze again. There we go. Alright. So, now we have duplicate name exceptions. Alright, convert arguments to parameters. Replace parameters. No matching overloads found. 4. Replace parameters. Options are that and that. Ugh. This looks like another type issue. Okay, so convert arguments to parameters, line 233. Oh, let me refresh my directories. So, line 233. Replace parameters. Params. Functions. Source type user defined. Alright, let's see what the problem was. Options are, it received a list, but it needs to be function update type. Boolean, model symbol source type, and then listing variable. Replace parameters. Function.replace parameters. Alright, looks like that doesn't actually have type hints available. Okay, it also takes Java util list. Function update type, that's correct. Boolean symbol source type. Okay, so this util list. Alright, how do I convert this into a Java list? Let's see. This is probably too much to hope for. Oops. So it's going through. Still receiving a list when it needs to be receiving a Java util list. Ugh. Those two should be identical. Let's see, which one am I using? Am I using Java? Import Java. Java.util.list. Alright, let's take a look here. Params dot append. Maybe what I need to do is I need to make params not a list, but a param list, something like that. Let's see. We can add it. All right. So params equals java.util.arraylist. And now we add to it. Let's try this. Gotta import Java first, I guess. You're toggling graphs to log scale. Can you tell me more about that? This actually looks like it fixed it. I think this might have fixed my issue. here. Right console. Yeah, that looks correct. Let me go in here and see if I've got my 60s. It says call int 60. Let's take a look there. What am I calling for my syscall int 60s? Syscall int 60s. Oh, you know what? I probably don't actually have anything in there for that. Got my carry flags. Namespace. No, I don't want those namespaces. Int 60. Call int 6007. Direct character input. Is this doing it properly? No, it's not. Alright, so int 60 is not being set up correctly. Training a model to generate equivalent SVG graphics from a dataset. While the training is running, I have 14 graphs. Some of them show a sharp hockey stick line, but in log scale they show more defined progress. No, I don't actually think that that's a problem. That sounds right to me. I mean, if you've got a power law type relationship, it would make sense then to do it that way. And one of the issues you run into oftentimes, especially when dealing with trying to go graph back to data, is if you're dealing with situations where SVGs might mitigate this a bit if they retain a whole bunch of precision, but if you're in a situation where you have less expressive space in one space and you try to map that to a more expressive space, so for instance going from hockey sticks back to non-hockey sticks, you end up getting reduced precision. But I think if you're using log scale, it's probably correct. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to not save. Let's do this, git commit, use array list. Okay, and so now this script should be updated for Ghidra. Now, granted, there are still some issues with some of the launching of it. So, or rather, with the int 60 stuff. Let me see if I can find that. Yeah, so this still calls v int 60 handler. I think I manually overrode it. Yeah. Why is this different now? Okay, but I think I'm in a better situation here. Current VGA screen. Actually, there seem to be a couple things that are a little bit better here as well. So this one, not so much. Take a look here, 0498. I don't know why it's multiplying that. But note here, this level allocation, oh, no, invalid address. It's still, if I click over there in the source view, it actually gives me the wrong result. But overall, this looks like a big improvement. This I'll need when I end up switching all this out, or when I make this into something that I can share. Perhaps that'll be better. But oh, I commented out 0x60. Okay. There's probably more work that needs to be done on this. Like I need to come up with these D types and whatnot. But I think this is an improvement. Level allocation table. Yeah. Let's see. Okay. Let's see what else is in this repository. MS-DOS syscall numbers.json. Okay, so this is all my different sets of. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. One fun thing is see this right here, integer number. There's no nice way. So that's 33 here. You can't actually store hexadecimal numbers nicely in JSON. You have to store them as their base 10 values. You know, I had built up in my head that updating to Ghidra was going to be a gigantic headache, and so far it does not seem to be the case. What I'm curious about now is I wonder if oops, what? I'm requesting a page that can't be found. Alright, well, let's just do it from in IPython then. IPython import Ghidra. I wonder if I can load stuff. Open program. Opens a given binary in Ghidra and returns flat program API. Well, that's nice. Can I open a project? Start? No. Maybe. Headless mode. Oops. Maximum recursion depth exceeded. Alright, well, that's probably not productive anyway. I guess this is quite an improvement, all things considered, because now I'm using everything from right within Ghidra. No external calls needed. Unfortunately, I've done so much manual modification to this script that... Alright, so why... This is new. Invalid storage. It's unassigned, but it's returning void, though. I wonder if reanalysis would fix that. Let's analyze. These are all the changes, okay. Function calls. Let's see if it comes up with an improvement here. So far, nothing. No, nothing yet. Forgot I named this countdown to shutdown. Okay. Yeah, still unassigned. It's returning void, though. Why does that need to be assigned? Oh well. I wonder what this does. Project name, summon it. Project root directory. Okay, let's take a look at what that looks like. Looks like I didn't need to do very much there. Let's see. By Ghidra. Oh, look, it's got linked list right there. Interesting. I guess I don't understand what this would accomplish for me necessarily. This looks like it's a template, but I don't know to what extent I would need that. Like this could, I guess the data is where I could have my DOS syscall info, but I don't think I would need anything in any of these other directories other than the scripts. Maybe that's just my failure of imagination. Okay. Yeah. Now this, okay, so this is cool. And this actually should be a function pointer. So let's retype that. Choose data type. You know what? Let's do pointer. There's got to be a way to do a function pointer here. Let's see, where does this get put onto the stack? I don't see that anywhere in here. 3181. 3181 is code segment. Okay. So it's calling it with the code segment. That doesn't actually. So I guess it's pushing code segment on somewhere? No, it's not. Okay. Let's create a function pointer. All right, code star. Okay. Let's clear it. Data. Data type manager. convention, signature void, void function, calling convention. Let's do unknown for now. All right, so now this will be no type void function star. Still didn't really do it. All right, let's see if I can change that one. Let's do the last data type. Is that period? Semicolon? No. All right, data last used, it's Y. And that sucks. All right, let's try instead. Nope. You know what, let's just go back to what it was initially. It'll just be an address. Let's find references to it. That's interesting. This must be, I think that 16E8 must be set up at some other point. 16E5, 16.8E. Okay. Well, I think that I've accomplished the thing I wanted to do. So I think I'm going to call it for now. Thanks for joining me, Cryogi. I wish you luck with your 14 graphs. Hopefully next time you'll be able to share a little bit about where you got with that. So, have a good day, folks. See you later.